Well, how y'all doing today? Hope y'all having a blessed day. So I'm about to throw together a cake here. Now I'm making a smoked ham, and had I had a pot big enough, I would have soaked it overnight to draw some of that salt out of there. Because I think these days they're making them more salty, putting more salt in them. And anyway, I couldn't do that. Now normally I make a pineapple upside down cake. I've been doing it for years, and I don't like to put pineapple too much on my ham and stuff because I use the leftovers in my beans and for ham salad and in greens. And I don't want that pineapple flavor in there. So usually, I make pineapple on the side, or I make a pineapple upside down cake. This year, I'm going to be making it with peaches. You can make it with, some have made it with fruit cocktail. But anyway, I'm using a box mix. And I got a good deal on these. About a year ago, they were like 99 cents a piece. I don't know what they are now. They had a good expiration date on them, so I snagged a few. Back then, there was a few to be snagged. And I'm following the directions basically for this. It calls for 1 cup of water, 3 eggs, and ½ a cup of vegetable oil. But what I've done is when I buy my fruit, I like to get it in 100% juice. It costs a little bit more, but I've had this for almost a year too. They were on sale, 98 cents a can. Normally they're more expensive when they're in juice. I don't like to buy anything in corn syrup or light syrup. I will get it in water. It is cheaper. But I had a good deal coming on these, so I've drained these peaches. But don't waste that juice. Now, you can mix that in cocktails, punches rather. What I'm using it for is I'm going to use it in place of the water that this cake mix calls for. It was almost a full cup. It calls for a cup of water. I put water in to fill up the cup the rest of the way, but it was almost a full cup. And I think that adds flavor. I ain't going to waste that. So anyway, I got my eggs in here, and I'm going to stir that around a little bit, add my oil and everything. And what I do is, see, I don't have the, I suggest you make this in a rectangular pan. Sorry. I don't have any. But this is it. This is what I got. I got to get me some more casserole dish type things. They're deep. But what I do is I melt a stick of butter. Well, it's not butter. Actually, it's margarine. And you're better off using margarine because butter will scorch and burn at a high temperature. And this will be going into the oven. And a lot of recipes call for, at this point, you put your fruit in. I don't do that. I find it's easier to get it out of the dish if I do it the opposite way. And what I do is it calls for, you use brown sugar to coat all that up. And that butter just seeps into the brown sugar and it absorbs it and everything. And that's going to be your topping on your cake right there. So you put more of that in there. You don't have to spread that around. And then, once you got that whole thing coated with the brown sugar, you put your fruit in there. That's the way I do it, okay? These are pretty big. I've drained them really well. And then you can use cherries, too, with peaches. You don't have to use them just for, pineapple upside-down cake. And then this is going to go into the oven at 350 for about, I'll check it in 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Now, I'm not going to want to use all this batter because it's just too much, because that pan is just too little. But I want to fill it up about halfway. I'm sure I'll be able to do that. Now, I've seen the pineapple upside down ones made in muffin cup pans, and that's really cool. It really is. But you definitely have to have a cookie sheet to flip it, because you got to cover the top of it and then flip. And they came out very well. And they just transferred them to a festive plate, and cover them with plastic wrap. And you can pop these, this kind of cake in the fridge. It will keep for a couple days, and you pull it out at room temperature, let it get warm, and it's very fresh. It's kept very fresh that way. Now, if you use like fruit cocktail or something else, you might want to drain that fluid because you don't want it too wet on top. Because when you flip this over, this will be the top of your cake, so you don't want it too wet. It will make the batter heavy. It may not even rise all the way. So I'm going to put it in there for 350 for about 20 minutes and then check on it, and you'll know when it's done. Usually with a cake like this, on the bottom it really don't matter. It will crack on top sometimes when it gets close to being done. You can always take a long knife and shave that part off, and so it'll sit flat if you really want it sitting flat. I don't think it will, mess it up too much. Anyway, that's what I'm doing right now, and I hope you all having a great day this Christmas Eve, 2021, that you're spending it with your families and everything, and that y'all feeling blessed. All right. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.